Just letting you guys know what's going on for the next week, November 7th to the 13th here in Honolulu. They are bringing in APEC, the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation leaders, down to have their meetings, and it's really going to be a mess down here. I've been researching it, and pretty much every APEC meeting there's been protests, demonstrations, and riots, so this is going to be an interesting one for us here. They have been closing down and making security zones, making some water areas off limits. This is on one of the websites. They are changing routes on some of the roads and closing down some roads so that they can control traffic and search cars or whatever they need to have. They need to do. And the big mess is going to be right over here. This is the area where that's where the convention is, and this is Waikiki area over here. And this whole place is going to be a mess. As you can see, APEC rules tighten hold on Waikiki. Some residents are fleeing the area, and while others are storing provisions as if a hurricane were coming. So people are getting the jitters. They don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully, it's just going to be a really easy week for people. But the way they're closing down everything, it's going to be hell for some. And I feel bad for the tourists that didn't know about it or wasn't expecting to be in the area. But and not only that, the HPD, my paper flies away. HPD has been doing training exercises in support for the APEC leaders, security support, right? So they've been doing, they've been adding more bikes, and they've been retrofitting buses, the large city and county buses, to bus demonstrators or not, people that break the law, in case they have to bring people en masse to somewhere to get them processed. They retrofitted some buses to be able to do that, and they've also retrofitted some other buses so that riot police can get to the destination quickly. And not only are police getting ready for APEC, Queens, I got one of these flyers from Queens. This is Queens Medical Center. They've also tightening their security for APEC. So everybody is on edge, and of course, if everybody else is getting prepared, it also makes sense that I, as a dad and protector of my family, should be also making preparations. So I did get a scatter. Unfortunately, the Honolulu Police Department is on EVAC's Pro Voice. It's a type of digital trunking system, and I cannot get it on here, but I do have fire department and the bus and handy van and EMS. So I do get a lot of chatter on the bus and the handy vans, and hopefully that will give me enough information to make decisions on whether or not to get my family out of there. My first choice would be not to be in the area, to just stay home, but it's just not going to be feasible. So the next step would be to be able to get my family out if needed. And I've talked over with the wife, and she wanted to have a code word. I thought it was kind of silly, but whatever works. So wish us luck. Hopefully things won't be too bad, and Home Defender, aloha.